Hi and welcome to Tech Tip Friday. I'm Kurt Stahle, that plastics guy, and I'm bringing you a tech tip that you could take to the shop floor with you today. So one thing I know I haven't talked about, it's not humidity in the air that we have to dry off. This is something I know I haven't talked about before, and that is the different types of pellet cut. What are they? What do they mean? Well, let's get into this. So you can broadly define pellet cut in two different types: a strand or an underwater or water influenced cut, and I'll get to that differentiation in a moment. The most conventional type of strand we see when we pelletize material coming out of an extruder or a compounding line is the spaghetti strand through a water bath going into a cutting machine, and you end up with pellets that, well, look like cut strands of spaghetti, about 1/8 of an inch long, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit longer, depending on your cutting equipment. And it's great. This is a style of strand or a style of pellet that has been in existence for decades. It works, there's no problem. Where it can go wrong is if the cutting mechanism isn't either properly calibrated, or perhaps the cutting knives are dull and you end up with longer strands. So how does this negatively impact plastics processing at the next phase at your injection molding machine or profile extruder? Well, these longer strands can potentially bridge in the throat of the extruder of your processing equipment. And depending on what that diameter of extruder throat is, that can cause quite the proverbial log jam of pellets behind it, and it can throw off the letdown ratio of your additive, in the long strand format, to your base resin. Catastrophically, I doubt it, but it can play havoc with it. And in manufacturing, we want to drive out all the variables that we can. So why would we introduce one in the form of a longer pellet cut? So it's really incumbent on the compounder you're working with. If it's a master batch compounder, likely that's the case, to ensure that the strand size are uniform and they have some type of sorting mechanism in place to control for these things. So that's the strand, but basically great process, works well. I have a lot of experience with that. When you get into a water cut pellet, I'm going to say there's two basic kinds. One is pellet coming through a die face, and a cutting wheel cuts it, and there's a water quench, water being actively pumped through a cutting chamber. That's sort of the ARIMA style of underwater pellet cut, or water-based, water quenching pellet cut, and I've worked with that. It's a very good system if you have a material that plays nicely, and I could write a book about that. But if you're running a material that's compatible with the machinery, with the ARIMA cutting head, it works very fine. There's a learning curve to it. It is a little bit more, there's a little more to it than a conventional spaghetti strand die cut process. But once you understand the equipment and how it works and you have good material, there's really no problem. And the last type of pellet, you have the material dropping down like a waterfall in a cutting head, and it's water quenched. So what is the difference between that ARIMA style? Well, the material is coming in horizontally versus a vertical drop. I think the main difference is you can work with a wider spectrum of material in this waterfall style. Now, if you're a reprocessor doing polyolefins, let me know. Perhaps you've experienced with both, or you have both styles of equipment in your shop, and you could tell me some of the pros and cons of either. But really, in terms of a defective pellet, the worst you're going to have, if it gets out the door to your customer, are several of these water cut pellets stuck together. They'll look like balloon animals almost, but much finer, much smaller. And the same idea as with the strand cut pellets, these can potentially bridge in the throat of your processing equipment and perhaps having a negative impact on the letdown ratio. I wouldn't say it's a significant thing, but that can be just a downside of that kind of pellet cut. So overall, is there a single best way? I would argue no. These methods all have their pros and cons, and it's really a function of, well, to some degree, the age of the equipment. The older equipment is likely going to be a strand cut, and it works just fine, has for decades. The underwater might be better suited to reprocessing certain types of material or certain melt flows of material, and hey, that's great too. So we can make room for a lot of different processing styles of equipment under one roof. They can all work very well. The question is, know your formulations, know your throughput, and that can help you choose the best product to suit your process and your customers. So there you have it. There's a Tech Tip Friday on a topic you probably weren't expecting. Tune in next week and I'll bring you another tech tip on something else from our industry. And in the meantime, it's been a hot week. Well, from the time I'm recording it, it will be a hot week. From the time you're watching this, it has been a hot week. I hope you stay cool and comfortable. We'll be back at it next week. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thanks so much.